This is the story of an underdog that made it big, only to lose it all. Hi, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to tell you the story of Sunny, a professional wrestler who shot to fame in the 1990s as one of the WWE's biggest stars. She was known for her good looks and charisma, and helped usher in a new era of divas in the WWE. But then her career took a turn for the worse, and she ended up falling from grace. I'll tell you what led to her downfall and how she ended up becoming a cautionary tale for aspiring wrestlers everywhere. What is termed diva in WWE? Throughout its history, women have served in various on-screen roles in the American professional wrestling promotion WWE. In the 1990s, WWE the term diva to refer to its female performers, including wrestlers, managers or valets, backstage interviewers, or ring announcers. In 2016 at WrestleMania 32, WWE abandoned the diva branding for its female performers, as part of a move to present them in a manner more in line with their male counterparts, rather than in a means based around sex appeal. Concurrently, the promotion began to refer to them using the superstar title it uses for all other performers, established a new WWE Women's Championship to replace the WWE Divas Championship, and began to increasingly book women's matches in its pay-per-view signature matches. WrestleMania 35 featured a women's match as its main event for the first time in WrestleMania history. Who was WWE first diva? The original WWE Diva was a woman named Tammy Sytch, more commonly known by her ring name Sunny. At a similar time, there was another woman who was showing that women could be beautiful, but also strong and have exceptional in-ring talent. That woman was WWE Hall of Famer, Alundra Blaze. While both had their selling points, Sunny was more popular with the casual fan due to her striking looks. However, she was not an active wrestler and played the role of a valet manager most of the time. This caused WWE to look into what was popular, and with the main demographic of WWE being males aged 1834, there was obviously a benefit to the company to run with what was popular. What was popular at that time ended up holding the divas back for years though. WWE started looking for people in a similar vein to Sunny, and over the next few years came up with the likes of Tori Wilson, Candice Michelle, and Stacy Keibler. All lovely women who had their talents, but their wrestling ability was clearly lacking. On the other side of the scale, you had Lita, Trish Stratus, and Shayna, but due to the highly sexualist types of matches that were going on at the time, such as bra and panties matches and pillow fight contests, even the divas who could wrestle were thrust into that kind of scene. Trish ended up getting into a sexual storyline with WWE Chairman Vince McMahon. Lita had an infamous live sex celebration in ring with her then boyfriend Edge, and even though they had all the talent they could have been given, they were largely seen as sexual objects in a world that was dominated by testosterone. That trend continued, and even when WWE hired divas that had the talent to be on screen more, WWE could not find the time for them on their already. Then came the introduction of NXT, the new developmental site for superstars and divas. Based in Florida, NXT gave the entertainers a chance to do more than wrestle for small crowd, but wrestle in front of a live audience watching worldwide, in a setting that was helping them prepare for life as a full-time WWE employee. This show saw the birth of three-time Divas champion and current longest-reigning title holder AJ Lee. AJ was a breakthrough act and managed to find herself in a place where she adapted very quickly, and within a short while of her time on the main roster, she found herself involved in storylines with the likes of Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and John Cena, all main event WWE superstars. While AJ herself had a lot of talent and showed that in her promos, she was still not able to get the time to be able to show off everything she had. After another year or so, another graduate from NXT popped up the night after WrestleMania 30. Why people dislike the diva term? According to the audience opinions, it represented pillow fights, bra and panty matches, hair pulling, and hiring models instead of actual wrestlers just because they were attractive. As a child, all they saw to represent women was that they were to look at their puppies and nothing else. Diva Championship represented with fake and catty models, not women, and certainly not wrestling. Early life of Sunny. Sytch was born to parents of American and Russian origin. Sytch grew up in a strict family, with a father retired from the United States Navy. Sytch graduated from Cedar Ridge High School in Old Bridge Township, New Jersey in 1990. Upon entering Smoky Mountain Wrestling in 1993, her fictional in-character storyline presented her as having come from studying pre-law at Wellesley College in Massachusetts. She then switched to pre-med at the University of Tennessee, with the ambition to be a plastic or orthopedic surgeon. During her first year of college, she worked as a freelance photographer. Professional wrestling career of Sunny. Smoky Mountain Wrestling 1992 to 1995. Sytch started out traveling with her boyfriend Chris and Ito to make some extra money. In late 1992, she signed a 6-month deal with Smoky Mountain Wrestling. She first appeared on screen as Tammy Fitch in 1993. She played a villain who idolized Hillary Clinton. In her first storyline with the company, she threatened to file a sexual discrimination lawsuit due to the lack of prominent positions offered to females. In June 1993, an unnamed Sytch made a cameo appearance at Eastern Championship Wrestling's Super Summer Sizzler Spectacular event. Sytch managed Brian Lee to the heavyweight championship and also began accompanying Ito in his matches. By May 1994, she was managing the two men as a tag team, which won the Tag Team Championship from the Rock and Roll Express. Both Sytch and Ito, however, left the promotion in early 1995 for jobs with the World Wrestling Federation WWF. World Wrestling Federation 1995 to 1998. In late 1994, Sytch was contacted by the WWF, and she began appearing as Tamara Murphy, a commentator for live event news segments during syndicated WWF television shows. 1 month later, Ito joined the WWF, and the duo began appearing as Sunny and Skip, known collectively as the Botadinas, villainous fitness fanatics. Zip, portrayed by Tom Pritchard, later joined the team, and Sunny was in their corner when they won the Tag Team Championship over the Godwins at WrestleMania 12. In 1996, she won Pro Wrestling Illustrated's Manager of the Year award. Weeks later, the Godwins regained the championship, and Sunny turned on the Botadinas in favor of the new champions. She then turned on the Godwins and helped the Smoking Guns win the Tag Team Championship. After the Smoking Guns lost the title at In Your House Den Mind Games, she fired them in the middle of the ring. She spent a short time as the manager of Farouk Assad, aiding him in his feud over the Intercontinental Championship with Mark Miro and his valet Sable. Sytch then began acting as host for several WWF television shows, including Live Wire and Shot on Saturday Night. In addition, she appeared on Singled Out and Entertainment Tonight. Meanwhile, Ito left the WWF for Extreme Championship Wrestling ECW, and it was not long before she began making guest appearances with him in the promotion. In August 1997, she appeared at It Was Hardcore Heaven 1997 pay-per-view. In 1998, Sunny became a face and briefly became the manager for the Legion of Doom 2000, leading them to a win in a Tag Team Championship No. 1 Contender Battle Royal at WrestleMania 14. Sunny would continue to manage them until she was released in July 1998 amid rumors of backstage problems with Renee Sable Miro and an addiction to painkillers, as well as no showing several appearances. Extreme Championship Wrestling 1998 to 1999. After being released by the WWF in July 1998, Sytch joined Extreme Championship Wrestling ECW. She made her debut at Heat Wave 4 days after her WWF release. Now billed as Tammy Lynn Sytch, she assisted Ito in his win over Lance Storm and their subsequent feud. By September, Storm introduced his own valet, a parody of Sytch, Tammy Lynn Bitch, later known as Dawn Marie. Later that year, amid more rumors of drug use, Sytch and Ito took some time off of television. When the duo returned, Ito realigned with Shane Douglas's Triple Threat, and Sytch began a feud with Douglas's manager Francine. The feud was cut short when Sytch was arrested after violating a restraining order filed by her mother. After a brief tour of Australia, she returned in October 1999 on an episode of ECW on TNN, where she talked openly about her past drug issues and reformation. Ken Ito and Sytch left the promotion in December 1999. World Championship Wrestling 2000. After appearing in Extreme Pro Wrestling XPW in early 2000, both Sytch and Ken Ito signed on with World Championship Wrestling WCW. Ken Ito debuted in March of that year, and Sytch debuted 1 month later at Spring Stampede, helping him win the WCW Cruiserweight Championship in a match against the artist formerly known as Prince Yaka. She then feuded with the Hawk as Valet Paisley. The short-lived feud came to a conclusion at Slamboree when the artist and Paisley stripped Tammy's dress off to reveal her undergarments following Candido's singles victory over Yaka. Sytch and Ken Ito then briefly feuded with Crowbar and Daphne. Ken Ito later dropped the title, which marked the end of the couple's run with the company. As in the past, Sytch's departure was surrounded by rumors of drug abuse. Independent Circuit 2000 to 2018. After being released from WCW, the duo landed in Extreme Pro Wrestling, where she managed Ken Ito to a title, the XPW World Heavyweight title once again. Ken Ito and Sytch parted ways with XPW and started touring other independent wrestling promotions. In the spring of 2003, Sytch and Ken Ito moved to Puerto Rico and were set to work for Victor Quinon's International Wrestling Association promotion. Sabu convinced them to work for Carlos Colon's rival World Wrestling Council WWC promotion instead. After 6 months, the couple quit the promotion and headed back to the States. Upon their return to the States, both Sytch and Ken Ito briefly lived with former ECW wrestler Hack Myers in his home in Florida. After the death of Ken Ito, Sytch became regularly involved in the independent circuit again. Sytch made appearances as a referee for NWS Wrestling in May 2005 and attended a Chris and Ito memorial show on June 4, 2005. Also, Sytch was a part of Hardcore Homecoming on June 10, 2005. She first came out with Johnny Grunge and Pitbull 1 to do a tribute to former ECW wrestlers who had recently died. Among those honored were Ken Ito, Pitbull 2, and Rocco Rock. They were interrupted by Danny Doring and Roadkill, but 911 cleared them out of the ring. Sytch at a show on the independent circuit in 2008. During this time period, Sytch appeared at the New Jersey-based NWS Cyberspace promotion. Soon after Sytch's departure from NWS Cyberspace, the New Jersey-based National Wrestling Superstars NWS became her new primary wrestling promotion. She appeared on a handful of the promotion's shows in the summer, and on June 3, 2006, she managed Lex Luger to victory over Johnny Ken Ito. Prior to the bout, a presentation was held from the Manasquan Elks Lodge to the Chris and Ito Memorial Fund. The Elks Lodge donated $500 to the fund, with the money being used towards a scholarship for a Manasquan high school student. Sytch returned to NWS Shockwave 2006 as a featured headliner. On December 1, 2006, Sytch was appointed the new commissioner of NWS Shockwave. Immediately following this announcement, Sytch declared all Shockwave championship titles vacant and informed fans that new heavyweight and internet champions would be crowned on January 13. On December 22, 2007, Sytch won her first championship, the WSU Championship, after defeating the champion Alicia at a Women's Superstars Uncensored WSU show in Lake Hiawatha, New Jersey, holding the title until March 21, 2008, when she lost the title to Nikki Roxx in a three-way match that also included Alexa Thatcher. Sytch turned heel at Sue's J Cup tournament a day later, when she appeared as the villainous manager for Dawn Marie in her first-round match against Becky Bayless, which Bayless won via disqualification. Sytch made an appearance at a Ring of Honor show on December 29, 2007 held at New York City, seated at ringside during a non-title three-way match where Daisy Hayes defeated fellow regulars Lacey, and then Shimmer champion Sarah El Rey. Upon the conclusion of the match, Lacey verbally assaulted Sytch and accused her of denigrating women's roles in professional wrestling, which supposedly resulted in women's wrestlers not being taken seriously in the industry. She also threatened to assault Sytch, but Hayes made the save on Sytch's behalf. Sytch made a few more appearances for Raw in 2008, where she repeatedly offered her services to Austin Aries but was turned down. On the April 12th Throw Show, Larry Sweeney announced that he had opened a Diva school and invited Sytch to be the trainer, an offer she said she would consider. Sytch made an appearance at Dynamite Championship Wrestling's 9-year anniversary event in February 2012. She would be the official host of the event. She also made an appearance for Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling on September 14, 2013 at the Back at It event in Freeland, Pennsylvania. A week after being released from jail in October 2018, Sytch announced via Facebook that she would be taking bookings for what she claimed would be her final 9 to 12 months of appearances before retiring to a private life. WWE appearances in 2007, 2009, and 2011. Sytch made an appearance on the 15th anniversary of Raw. Sytch, as Sunny, participated at WrestleMania 25 on April 5, 2009 in the 2-5 Diva Battle Royal for the crown of Miss WrestleMania, but was eliminated by Beth Phoenix. Sytch was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame by the entire roster of WWE Divas on April 2, 2011. In 2021, WWE Network listed her as one of the many female performers who made an impact in WWE outside the ring. Adult Entertainment. Sytch has claimed that, in 1997, Playboy had approached her and offered a 6-figure sum to pose nude for the magazine. Sytch stated that she declined the offer because she didn't feel that she was emotionally ready to do something like that. Renee Sable Miro, with whom Sytch had real-life animosity, later disputed Sytch's claim that she was approached for a possible photo shoot. From 2001 to 2003, however, Sytch regularly posed nude for Missy Hyatt's adult website Wrestling Vixens. In later years, Sytch said she regretted taking part in the website due to money she claimed she never received, as well as the sexual actions some of the other models performed in their own photo and video shoots. In 2016, Vivid Entertainment released a pornographic film featuring Sytch titled Sunny Side Up. In Through the Back Door. After being released from prison in 2020, Sytch created an OnlyFans account to upload adult-oriented content. Sunny personal life. Sytch attended the same high school as her longtime boyfriend, Chris Candido. He would later introduce her to the professional wrestling industry. Sytch regularly managed Ito throughout his career and remained with him until his death in 2005. By 2007, she was once again in school, studying medical technology. Sytch had a 9-month relationship with Shawn Michaels in the late 90s. Sytch was friends with Bret Hart and would entertain his children whenever they followed him on tour. Sytch walked out of Raw the night after, in reaction to the Montreal Screwjob, the incident in which WWF owner Vince McMahon legitimately double-crossed Hart. He was leaving for main competitor WCW and cost Hart the WWF Championship. Sytch was rushed to the hospital in 2001 after her appendix burst, which required time off from wrestling to heal. While in jail in 2013, Sytch said that she was diagnosed with cervical cancer but underwent a hysterectomy and was later diagnosed as cancer-free. She released an autobiography, A Star Shattered. The Rise and Fall and Rise of Wrestling Diva Tammy Sunny Sytch, on February 4, 2016. At the time of her May 2022 arrest, she was engaged to James Pent. Legal issues. In 2012, Sytch was arrested 5 times in a 4-week span for disorderly conduct, third-degree burglary, and 3 counts of violating a protective order. She was arrested a 6th time in January 2013, also for violating a protective order. Sytch served 114 days in a Connecticut jail and was released in May 2013. Throughout May and June 2015, Sytch was arrested in Pennsylvania 3 times for driving under the influence. Sytch pled guilty to all 3 charges in January 2016. A judge sentenced her to 90 days in jail on August 18, but counted her 97 days in rehab as time served. However, she was charged with violating her parole that September and remained in jail until February 3, 2017. While on probation, Sytch was arrested in New Jersey for 2 DUIs on January 23 and February 2, 2018, and was also charged with fleeing the scene of an accident in relation to the February 2 arrest. After failing to appear in court for either case, she was arrested on February 27, 2018 for 2 fugitive from justice charges and 6 counts of contempt of court, and was placed in the Monmouth County Correctional Institution. While she was being processed, it was discovered that she was a fugitive from justice due to her parole in Pennsylvania having been revoked in August 2017. Sytch was subsequently extradited to Pennsylvania on March 23 and remained at the Carbon County Correctional Facility in Nesquinning until she was paroled on October 9, 2018. A bench warrant was issued for Sytch in Pennsylvania on February 15, 2019, and the Carbon County Probation Department filed a motion to revoke Sytch's October 2018 parole. She was arrested in Seaside Heights, New Jersey later that month for DUI and other driving offenses, and subsequently released into the custody of the Humble Police Department after it was discovered that she had outstanding warrants in both Humble Township and Knowlton Township, New Jersey. She was charged with contempt of court on both warrants. On March 20th, Sytch was extradited from Monmouth County back to Carbon County Correctional Facility to address her Pennsylvania charges. After over a year in prison, Sytch was released on February 25, 2020. Sytch was arrested on July 13, 2020, for allegedly eluding a police officer, contempt violation of a domestic violence restraining order, and operating a motor vehicle during a second license suspension. She was held at the Monmouth County Correctional Institution and was released on June 9, 2021, due to a court order. What about mugshot? May 13, 2022. Sytch was once again arrested on January 13, 2022, in Kingsburg, New Jersey for unlawfully possessing a weapon and making terroristic threats. She was booked into the Monmouth County Correctional Institution, but released the following day after being ordered to check in weekly with the court. The charges stem from an incident in which she allegedly threatened to murder an intimate partner with a pair of scissors. If convicted, Sytch faces 11 years in prison. She was arrested again a month later in Kingsburg and charged with 11 driving offenses, including DUI. Sytch was involved in a fatal car crash in Volusia County, Florida, that killed a 75-year-old man on March 25, 2022. According to a police report from the Ormond Beach Police Department, Sytch was driving a 2012 Mercedes-Benz when she crashed into the rear of a 2013 Kia Sorento that had been stopped at a stoplight. Witnesses told police that Sytch was driving at a high speed when she crashed into the Kia Sorento. Sytch was transported to the hospital with unknown injuries, and a sample of her blood was taken for analysis. In May, Sytch was arrested on DUI and manslaughter-related charges after toxicology reports found that her blood alcohol content was about 3.5 times the legal limit. After initially being released after posting $2,275,000 bond, a judge deemed her to be a danger to the community and revoked her bond 6 days later, and Sytch was returned to jail while she awaits trial. She faces 26 years in prison if convicted. Sunny legacy. Sytch became known as the first diva in WWE history after her run in the 1990s. During this time, her 1996 bikini issue of Raw magazine made a record number of sales. Her popularity expanded beyond professional wrestling, as America Online deemed her the most downloaded woman that same year. According to Slam Wrestling, Sytch's pairings with the Smoke and Guns and the Godwins made her a loathed villain, but one of the hottest personalities in WWE. WWE describe her as the person who redefined the role of women in WWE, adding, "She wasn't just a brainless bikini model or a vivacious valet at ringside. She was a pinup, a fast-talking manager, and could throw down when she needed to. In short, she was sexy, smart, and powerful." For her contributions to the promotion, she was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2011. The Post and Courier columnist Mike Moonaghan described Sytch as having captivated audiences during her time in the business, but that substance abuse and backstage drama, and later legal and personal problems, have plagued her over the years. After her 2022 arrest on DUI and manslaughter-related charges, former WWE wrestler Bill DeMott, whose daughter was killed by a drunk driver, called on the promotion to remove her from their Hall of Fame. The call was backed by WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry. Championships and accomplishments. She won different championships like Cauliflower Alley Club, New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, PWI Manager of the Year, WSU Championship, Slammy Award 2 times, Best Buns, and WWE Hall of Fame in 2011 as well. So, this is it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.